Welcome back on Golang programming series. In this video, we will see how to handle the errors in Golang. So the idiomatic way to handle the errors in Go language is to return the error values from the function. So here we have taken a function divide that takes two arguments x and y. X is a dividend, y is a divisor, and we are dividing x from y. This function returns two values. One is the float 64, that is the division result, and another is an error value. In Golang, we have an error type as well, just as integer, float. Similarly, we have an error type as well. So this function will return two values of type float and another is of type error. Now we all know that whenever we divide any value from 0, we got the division error in programming language. We are going to handle this division error by dividing the value from 0. This divide function we are calling from the main function. Here we have passed two values 10 and 2. Let's divide it first by 0. So here these two arguments we have passed. Dividend is 10 and the divisor is 0. Now in this function, since we have the erroneous case, we know that if the divisor is 0, we will definitely going to get an error. So we are going to handle this specific case. First, we have given this condition that if the y is equal to 0, then it will be returning two values. One is the 0 as the division result and second as an error. How can we generate an error? In Golang, we have an errors package that helps to create a new error. Here, with the help of errors package and the new function, we have created an error, and the error message we are giving it division by 0. So in this way, we have written an error, but if this is not the case, if the divisor is not 0, then it will simply perform the division and an error value will be nil here. Let's see a specific case. In this case, whenever the divisor is 0, it will go to the if loop, it will give the error value as a return value. And these two return values will be stored in these two variables. First is the result and second is the ERR. If this error variable does not equal to nil, that means we are definitely getting an error type here. And in this case, we can say that we have an error and the error is division by 0 we will be getting here. And it will be simply written and come out of the main function. But suppose if I have another value 2 here, in this case it will not go to the if block. It will simply perform the division and provide nil in this error variable. And since this error is nil in this successful execution, in that case it won't go to this if block as well and will simply print the result. Let's execute the code for both of the cases. For first case, I have taken the divisor as 0. And here we can see if the divisor is 0, we'll simply go to this condition, it will return the error type, and here it will print that error is division by 0. Let's take in another case, and we have taken greater than 0 value here, and the result is 5 because it is not going to this condition and it is performing the division operation. So in this way, you can handle the error where you are suspecting that this could be an erroneous case and we can get an error by this specific condition. And you can return the error type value from that function. But what if you are suspecting that everything should go well and you are getting something unexpected situation? How can you handle the unexpected errors? So to handle the unexpected errors in Golang, we have the panic and recover functions. How does it work? In Golang, whenever any execution fails, it calls the panic function. It invokes a panic situation and it calls the panic function. Here I am manually simulating a panic situation and I am calling this panic function where I am passing the statement as something went wrong. Generally, how should it go? Whenever any statement is failing and it is calling any panic situation, it should come out of this block. Now with this mechanism, we are going to handle the situation while coming out of this loop only. When it will be coming out of this loop, we will give the defer function within this function here to secure this. So what is the defer function? Defer function says that the execution will be happened at the end of this block. When the control got the panic situation, it will try to come out of this loop, but since we have given the defer function, it will first execute the defer statement that says that it has to call recover demo function. So first, after getting the panic, it will call the recover demo function. In recover demo, we have given the recover function. What does the recover function will be returning in our variable? The value we have passed while calling the panic function, the same value is returned by recover function. Here we have given something went wrong, so it will return the value something went wrong. Suppose I am not calling any panic function, but I am calling the recover function. In that case, this recover function will return nil. Let's come back to this current scenario. So we have called the panic function. So this recover function will return the value something went wrong. And here we have given the condition if r does not equal to nil, then it will print recovered with this recovered message. So here the r is not nil, it will say recovered and something went wrong. So in this way we can secure our particular function if we are not aware that we can get any error in a situation or not. In any function, if you want to secure that, you can simply give a defer statement, and in defer statement you can give a recover function. Let's understand the positive scenario here. Suppose we do not have any panic statement here and we are printing a simulate panic situation. Then in that case, function execution will be successful. It will come out of this loop, but when coming out of this loop, it will call the defer function and consecutively recover demo function it will call it. Now here it will see what is the return value of the recover function. Since we haven't called anywhere the panic function, the return value of the recover function will be nil. And in this way, it won't be executing this statement. So this will be the execution if there is no panic. Let's see how does this panic work here. Run the code. So here in main function, first we have start, then we have got some function. Here it will call the panic function, and while coming out of this loop, it will call the recover demo. In recover demo, we got some value from the recover function, so it will come here inside the loop and it will say recovered something went wrong, and then it will come out of this function and it will say end. So in this way we can handle different type of the situations. If you are aware that this particular condition can throw some error, so you can handle in this way. But if you just want to secure your code and you are not aware what exactly statement can cause an error, then you can use a defer statement and the recover function you can use. Keep in mind, programmers should use panic and recover to handle the errors only. Do not use such functionality in your general control flow. So this is all about error handling in Go. If you like the content, do subscribe the channel and hit the like button. Until next time, happy coding. Bye bye.